Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. In this video, we're looking at the Thursday NBA slate. We only have 3 games tonight, starting at 7:30. One 7:30 game and then two 10 p.m. games. So, another short slate. It's been kind of weird with the NBA schedule recently. And then tomorrow we have like a monster of a slate. I think like maybe 11 or 13 games. Can't remember, but huge slate tomorrow. Let's get into this one. As always, appreciate you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Can follow me on Twitter at the DFS Process for updates. And let's get started. So we will go. We'll go game by game. There's only 3 games, so not a ton to. It's not gonna take too much time. First game, we have one of the better games to target in terms of a close game. I think you're probably gonna see both of these teams be able to put up some points, although both are decent or pretty solid defensively. You have the Lakers against the Bucks. The Lakers still list LeBron as questionable. He's been questionable almost every game this season. He suited up in every one, so I'm not expecting anything different, especially in this type of pretty big game against the Bucks in terms of just like the ratings and stuff like that. So I like LeBron here at 92. His price tag is cheap. I think Davis looks better at 94, but he's in play on a 3-game slate. Drew Holiday is just really cheap. It's only 6,600, so definitely have a feel good about targeting him. He's playing 35 to like 37 minutes in close games. He's been a lot more productive recently in terms of making his shots and like facilitating and getting some rebounds. So I feel pretty solid that he'll be able to return value at only a $6,600 price tag. You have like Mike Conley in a similar price range. He's like 6,500. I think both of those guys look solid. Lean to Holiday just because I just like him a little bit more. Feel a little bit better about him than Mike Conley. Other guys that looked somewhat appealing are like KCP is only 3,700. He is cheap enough to be one of the like honestly where we don't have a lot of value right now. He's one of the better value plays. Plays around 20 to 25 minutes, and on the season he's averaging like shooting the ball great, over 50% from the floor and from three, and averaging 18 fantasy points in 22 minutes. So I wouldn't kill you at 3,700. And if he has a better shooting game like he's been shooting the ball well this season, could definitely be one of the better value plays or one of the better point per dollar plays on the slate. Chris Middleton also looks appealing at 76. If you don't or you can't get up to Giannis, if you'd rather go to like Davis or like Julius Randle or LeBron, then at least you want to get a couple of pieces in case Giannis has a bad game and the Bucks still are able to stay in this. Probably going to be because of Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday. Both guys have been playing solid basketball this season. Middleton continues to just be super productive offensively, taking around 15 to 20 shots per game. He's shooting over 50% from the floor. He's always a great shooter. Really fun to watch him shoot. He's super smooth with it, and it's a tough matchup defensively, but I just think that with how fast Milwaukee plays and how good their offense is, they're going to be able to put up points on both sides. And then a piece that I would like to target from the Lakers side is Anthony Davis, is only 9,400. I like the price tag on him. It's cheap. He's been he's been killing it with the blocks recently. 5 blocks. Also can get you steals as well. He's probably one of the leading candidates for Defensive Player of the Year. He can get you a double-double, and he's playing solid minutes in close games, and some of these games haven't been close, so you've been seeing like 25, 29, 30 minutes, but expect this game to be close, so we'll see 35, 37 minutes out of Davis here, and expect a monster game out of him, at least, hopefully expecting 50. We all know he has that 60-point ceiling plus as well, so definitely one of my favorite stars to target on this 3-game slate. And then you can also look to like Brook Lopez if you want to, but don't want to go overload on the Milwaukee side. The second game we have the Knicks against the Warriors. The Warriors played last night, so they're on a back-to-back. The Knicks they had that really fun brick fest against the Magic. That game was super brutal to watch, especially in the third quarter. It got better in the fourth, but both teams could not shoot. But both teams shot about 30 something percent from the floor, like under 35%. Randall only shot 5 of 19. They are expected to get Alex Burks back, so that will help them to get some offense back. He's 5,300. We'll see if he's not going to be limited. I think you can definitely take a shot with him, but we'll see if we get some sort of news if he's going to be limited or not. Rivers is doubtful, so that would open up some more playing time for Burks. So I think Randall looks good just because his price tag is cheap and the matchup is just great against Golden State. And then on the Warrior side, I like Steph Curry as a pay up option, but he's kind of behind Davis and Giannis for me. One piece that I do like is like Andrew Wiggins is super inexpensive. He's only $6,200. His price tag has been in the mid to high 6K range recently. So now we're getting him in a low 6K price tag against the Knicks. It was a back-to-back, but it was a blowout, so he only played 31 minutes last night. He's usually playing 35, 36. If this game stays close, which it probably will against the Knicks, neither one is, the Warriors will probably win this game, but they haven't been blowing teams out on a regular basis this season. So I do like Wiggins at that price tag. Kelly Oubre also looks fine at 57, but $500 difference. I think Wiggins looks better, but you can get both of them if you want to. And then at center, you have James Wiseman, who's only 4,500. Played well last night. He's still fouling at a crazy high rate. He's averaging 3.5 fouls in just 20 minutes. He's had 4 5 fouls. So it's scary in that department that he can definitely get into foul trouble, especially against the Knicks and Julius Randle. Hopefully, they kind of just put him on Mr. Robinson. But Randle does like to kind of find his way inside the paint. So hopefully Wiseman doesn't get into foul trouble, because if he is able to play like 20 to 25 minutes tonight, should have no problem hitting value at $4,500 against the Knicks. So definitely like Wiseman on the Warriors side. I like Wiggins. Then on the Knicks side, I think you can look to Randle, and then I think Burks looks fine if he's not going to be limited. I'm not that interested in Elfrid Payton or Quickly tonight. And then the final game, we have the Pelicans against the Jazz. The Pelicans have some players priced nicely tonight. You have Steven Adams at only 5,700. That price tag looks really good. He played 24 minutes in a blowout, so he lost some fourth quarter rotation. He's been playing around 30 plus minutes tonight, 30 plus minutes this season, averaging 30.4. In closer games, he's seeing 32, 33, especially against Rudy Gobert. He's going to have to be out there. So if this game stays close, then definitely think Adams will be able to hit value. Derek Favors is incredibly cheap. He is only 3,400. He could be a nice contrarian play if you think that Gobert will get into foul trouble, or if you just want to be different on a 3-game slate. Definitely could look to Zion at 77. He's priced nicely. I like Zion more than Ingram. Ingram's his production all over the place is kind of fallen off, except for the scoring. He's not been getting a lot of rebounds. Been letting Zion. Letting Zion and Adams kind of get all those. Assists have also come down. So not that interested in Brown and Ingram. I think Zion looks better. And then we can look to Lonzo Ball was limited in his first game. It's 55 and 53 for Bledsoe. Neither one I think is a must play, especially if Lonzo's still limited a bit. So not a ton to like on the Pelican side, I think, except for a few. I think Adams is probably my favorite, just because he's cheap, and I think he'll be able to hit value if he gets a double-double. She'll be able to hit you value at 57. And then on the Jazz side, you can look to a cheap Joe Ingles at only 4,300. He finally returned, played 19 only played 19 minutes, but he's been averaging in the mid 20s. So first came back in after missing about like 9 days. So that was also a blowout at the end. So probably didn't have to close, but he's a guy that can close over like Royce O'Neal. So I think Ingles looks like a good value play at his price tag, and then maybe you can look to Clarkson is kind of priced fine at 61. He's been playing great though, and he loves to shoot off the bench, so he's not going to be shy. He looks good as well, but I think Ingles looks better point per dollar wise. And that's it for this 3-game DraftKings slate. Let's go over to Fanduel and kind of look what their pricing looks like for tonight. Okay, on Fanduel, point guard options we have is Steph Curry. Looks fine at 98. Definitely a lot easier to get to him on Fanduel with the positions and with the extra cap. I still like Jrue Holiday at his price tag at 76. I think he looks fine. But then you have a pretty cheap price tag on Bledsoe. He's only 47. I think that might be a little bit tough to ignore, just because he's only 4,700. He's going to be starting, and if Lonzo is still limited, then we can get Bledsoe playing in the high 20s minutes and maybe be able to return value. So he's been kind of bad, like really bad this season, but 47 is probably tempting enough on a 3-game slate. At shooting guard, we have Wiggins at 7,000, Donovan Mitchell at 82. Maybe you can look to Alec Burks. There's not a ton at this position that looks that appealing. Clarkson, I think, looks fine just because there's not a ton of options at shooting guard here. So if you wanted to go cheap, maybe you can look to like KCP or Quickly. But there's not a ton that jumps off the page. So I'll probably just take a shot with like Clarkson and hope that he continues to play well. With Ingles coming back, that's going to be just another ball handler, another guy that's going to take some usage. But Clarkson is just super aggressive off the bench side. He's still going to chalk in. Hopefully, he can continue to be a decent shooter this season, or at least decent shooter tonight, like he's been this season. Small forward, you have Middleton. Looks fine. No issues with Chris Middleton. I think you can definitely look to Kelly Oubre at only 5,600. That price tag on Oubre is nice on Fanduel. He's been playing better recently. Then you have Joe Ingles, who also looks fine as well. So probably go with Kelly Oubre at 56. I like him more than Bogdanovich. I like him more than Barrett at 67. Moving on to power forward. So this thing is a spot where you can definitely pay up at power forward. So you might want to go cheap at some other positions because power forward is loaded tonight. You have Giannis, you have Davis, Randall, Zion plus 4 studs above 8,000. Probably will try to get to at least 2 out of the 4 of them because there's not that many cheap options. Maybe you can look at Kyle Kuzma, who's been playing well off the bench and getting a ton of rebounds, but I think there's just a big drop off or a big opportunity cost from going cheap at power forward just because I could see, both Davis going absolutely nuts and like Zion going nuts or like Randall going nuts. So I still like Davis, especially with just with how valuable blocks and steals are on FanDuel, and he racks up multiple of them on a nightly basis. I think he looks great at 10,000. And then center, you have Gobert as the one guy to pay up for. And then you have a bunch of cheap guys. You have like Steven Adams is only 5,200. He looks like a nice option if you can't get up to Adams. If you want a little bit of savings, you can go down to Wiseman. It's just a good spot against the Knicks. Like, she'll be able to get some rebounds. She'll be able to score at the paint. Just hope that he doesn't get into foul trouble because it could be another 30 spot for him, and that would be really nice at only 4,400. Allow you to pay up at some other positions like power forward. So definitely think Wiseman and Adams are probably the 2 guys that I'm considering on FanDuel at center. And that about does it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and best of luck tonight.